Hi everyone, Professor Gustin here, and we're on week 6. We're going to be talking about microbial metabolism. First, I wanted to talk a little bit about week 5. Remember, week 5, how could you forget? We had exam number 1 and lab practical number 1, and I'm actually making this video at the end of week 5, so I don't know how you did yet. So I'm going to wait until week 7 to comment on the exam from week 5. But remember, for the exam 1 and practical 1, I have to do some hand grading. So I'll get that done early in week 6 and update your grades. And when you want to see your grades, you want to see what you got wrong, go to your grade page after the due date and check on the name of the exam, and it will show you the questions you got wrong. Now, that might be that I didn't grade them yet. So you do it too soon, you'll see some odd things until I get them graded. But meanwhile, we're going to work on microbial metabolism. And microbial metabolism is actually one of my favorite topics. And one of the reasons is when I do this in a live class, I can see how it can be confusing for students. And and then I can see kind of how the pieces start to fall together and it starts making sense. So you might have done this in another class where you learned about electron transport and Krebs cycle and glycolysis and just anabolism, catabolism, enzymes, and all that. And what I try to do in microbiology is give you a big picture of what's going on, not all the minutiae of details. I want you to have some understanding of what is the point and how are microorganisms unique from other organisms like the human body. So I think if you have some patience, especially if you, as you're learning the material at the beginning, just kind of take stock in that. But as we get to the end, the story will kind of pull together and the information will hopefully find more meaning to you by the end. Now, what I recommend, as always, there's a study guide, so print out your study guide. But in that study guide, I put some big diagrams of the pathways, the cellular respiration. And so even taking notes on those pathways is a really good idea because rather than writing out a lot of words, it's a lot easier to look at it and see, oh, I can see how this pathway follows through and write some notes there. I highly recommend that instead of using the book and just going through the book, that you watch these lecture videos. This topic, when you go to a textbook, there's so much information. And like I said, I'm trying to get the big picture and I'm trying to get you to get some specific knowledge about bacteria that was just helpful by my making videos and, by you're using the videos instead of just using the book. So watch those videos. We have a lecture assignment, an adaptive learning assignment like we do for every week. So work on that when you're done. And then we have a lab handout. And the lab handout doesn't necessarily relate to metabolism, but it's about growing bacteria. And there are no virtual labs with this handout this week, but there is a lab assignment, which is an adaptive learning on one element of the lab handout. And there's a lab quiz. So, and the lab quiz is from your lab handout. So, I hope metabolism works for you. If you're having issues with it or there's some challenges, let me know. We can talk about it. So, meanwhile, have a great week. Take care.